depending on your age, when you think of a classic Power Ranger season, you might think Mighty Morphin. That's the instant one. You know, you might go a bit further down the line, you might go In Space, Lost Galaxy. Even if you're in the same age bracket, or maybe, you know, just below, you might pick one of the Disney seasons. SBD, Dino Thunder. Great seasons. And, you know, as time has passed, I've noticed that seasons like Operation Overdrive and Jungle Fury, which people that I saw didn't really kind of appreciate, have started to appreciate. And it got me thinking, are we about to get into the era where the Neo-Saban era of Power Rangers is becoming a classic? Let's talk about it. So for those of you who don't know, there are 4 main eras of Power Rangers. 5 if you class like a sort of subset, but we'll go through the main 4. You have the Saban era. Now this consists of the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, Wild Force. 10 seasons if you count Mighty Morphin season 2 and 3, all in the Saban era. And then that's kind of broken down to the Zordon and the post-Zordon era. Post-Zordon era is the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, In Space, and then the rest are post. With Lost Galaxy being like a weird bridge in between. And that of course was when Saban owned the show. The rights were then sold on to Disney, and that is when we got the Disney era. This consists of Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SBD, Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, and RPM. And then technically Mighty Morphin season 1 again, but remastered. But we tend to kind of forget about that. And then Disney sold the rights back to Saban, and there came technically 8 more seasons, but they were 4 sets of 2 seasons. And that consisted of Samurai and Super Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge, Ninja Steel, and Super Ninja Steel. Every season added Super to it. It was weird. And then there's another weird bridge with Beast Morphers, because Beast Morphers is technically the first Hasbro season, but the first season of Beast Morphers, especially the first half of that season, was still very Saban based before it just became a Hasbro era. And then, yeah, the Hasbro era is Beast Morphers, Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury. As I've said, the Disney era is very much considered classic at this point. The last Disney era show we had was 2009, so it's been well over 10 years. And, you know, people look back on that times fondly. And I specifically remember growing up in an online community where Operation Overdrive wasn't a great season. I don't really like Operation Overdrive. I think the first 2 episodes are quite sick. And of course, Once a Range is really sick. I don't really like it. But that's not, I'm not pulling off other people saying I don't like it. I never found much interest in it. However, all the other Disney era seasons I love. Ninja Storm is arguably one of my favourite seasons. Dino Thunder, SPD, and Jungle Fury are surely top 10. Haven't really ranked them. Maybe I should. But great seasons. Power Rangers has been in a weird position recently. The fans are loving everything that's coming, everything that we've had, and everything that's coming with a reboot, but it's, you know, mainstream wise, it's not really being seen. But I have seen a resurgence of like TikTok edits and stuff, and that's probably just because I have my For You page and I follow the right people. But every single time I see a thing of like Power Rangers now versus Power Rangers then, Samurai always falls in the Power Rangers then. And look, I get it. It came out in 2011. I was 8 when it came out, and I was already a Power Ranger fan before that. Well, I wouldn't even call myself a Power Ranger fan. I was just a child, so I just liked Power Rangers. You know, Saban had just brought back the rights, and Samurai was promoted insanely. Like, Haim Saban put his all into Power Ranger Samurai. And of course, you know, people probably remember it for that. I personally wouldn't consider Power Ranger Samurai as Power Rangers back then. I don't know why. I don't enjoy it that much. It's a good season. I don't enjoy it that much, and to me it does just fall into the Samurai to Ninja Steel bracket. Arguably one of the better seasons of, you know, that era. That came as a surprise to me. It got me thinking, if a lot of the people these days, the younger people, do like Samurai and consider Samurai this classic season that fits in with, you know, the likes of SPD, Ninja Storm, and maybe even like, you know, Time Force and stuff like that, is Power Rangers Megaforce up next for that, and in conjunction is all of the Neo-Saban era up next for that. Here's the thing, okay? Let's break down the Neo-Saban era. So Samurai and Super Samurai, pretty solid. Not one of my favourites by any means, but pretty solid seasons, and it was a great comeback for Power Rangers. Megaforce and Super Megaforce is obviously widely, you know, disliked by the fandom. Power Rangers Megaforce and Super Megaforce kind of hyped up a lot. It was a big expectation for it. It was the 20th and 21st anniversary, and it kind of all fell flat, and it didn't really pay off as much as we all wanted it to. And I don't know if there's people out there who enjoy Megaforce. If they are, it's probably a kid who grew up, and his first season was Megaforce, probably, which is what Samurai was for people as well. Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge, I'd argue, is just a great set of seasons. I genuinely think that is the strongest season of the Neo-Saban era. Has it got its issues? Yeah. Does it need work? Yeah. But, you know, 10 Rangers, plus we've just had the return of Heckle as the Dark Ranger, which was incredible. There's clearly such a massive Dino Charge fan base out there for that to have happened. Solid set of seasons. And then Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, it's debatable whether people like Megaforce more than that. I think the cast is, you know, there was issues with Ninja Steel in terms of, you know, the writing and what they had to do. Not that the writers were bad, but what like Nickelodeon wanted them to do, and you know what the requirements were. But yeah, the Ninja Steel seasons weren't great, but they, like Operation Overdrive, had a pretty decent crossover, which was quite cool. So if Samurai is considered one of the better classic seasons by a lot of people, and Dino Charge is so wildly appreciated, now that we've passed Beast Morphers, we've passed Dino Fury, we've passed Cosmic Fury, and we're going into the reboot, if people don't like the reboot and they start making TikToks that's like Power Rangers now, oh, but Power Rangers back then, or anything like that, or any sort of content based around that, is Megaforce and Ninja Steel gonna be considered classic? Or is like, you know, because Dino Charge as well, Dino Charge is a good season, but I think some people, I still consider that quite new. I'm fully aware it came out like, what, 8 years ago? It's crazy to think about. So, I looked back at some older seasons, and I kind of thought to myself, what makes me love them, and why to me are they the classic seasons? Now, the seasons I grew up with were, when I was born, it was when Ninja Storm was coming out, right? But by the time I was watching Power Rangers and there was like reruns on Jetix and Kicks, I saw Mighty Morphin, I saw SPD, I saw Dino Thunder, and I'm pretty sure I saw Mystic Force. And then all the other shows were ones that were just like either on reruns, or my grandparents or my parents have bought me DVDs or VHS tapes of them. And I distinctly know that's how I got into Ninja Storm. And there was this weird like DVD which had like the White Light two-parters on it and a bunch of the crossovers, and that's how I found out about the other seasons. In my childhood, predominantly, it was Dino Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force. They were the ones that I saw the age of, like, you know, the influence age. And I do consider them classic seasons. I'm like, yeah, sick. But I know the seasons that come before that. I know there's arguably better seasons that come before that, but that's what I consider classic. So to think that Samurai came out in 2011, you'd only really have to be born in like 2009 and be 13 or even turning 14 currently in order to consider that like the series you watched when you grew up. And that's like, you know, or maybe even young, maybe even older. Could be like, I'd go as far to say like 16 to say Samurai was the first Power Rangers season I saw. And these are the people making a lot of content these days. It kind of makes sense. And I think we predominantly hear off the people who are older fans who say they don't like Megaforce. But what are the odds that in the bracket from like 2008 to 2013 that are people who were watching Power Rangers, maybe even past that, who are very soon going to kind of bring the renaissance of Megaforce and these Neo-Saban seasons that we kind of collectively like hold a shadow over. Because like I said, Dino Charge, Samurai, solid seasons. Megaforce and Ninja Steel had their moments, but they weren't it. What if that renaissance is coming? I think it might, because I feel everyone's been so tunnel vision to our own views of Megaforce, and probably other views as well. And I feel like the generation is coming where they grew up with Megaforce and loved Megaforce, and they were like, yes, like the sickest season, all the Rangers come back and they get to use legendary powers, and like, it's amazing. And yeah, I think it's coming. The fact that in 2023 Samurai is being used as a Power Rangers was good back then season, by 2025, especially when that reboot hits, and if people don't like it, they're gonna talk about how all the older seasons were better. Megaforce, probably even Ninja Steel, are gonna be considered classic seasons. But anyway, that's my thoughts. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think I'm chatting shit? If you do, please feel free to start a discussion. Thanks for watching. We've just hit 3k subscribers. Thank you all so much for that. We'll try to get as much content as we can out. There'll be lots more Power Ranger stuff coming, along with just the various forms of content. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. And yeah, I'll see you soon.